Hi there, Year 4. We're going to be continuing the work that you've already started on life in Victorian schools by reading the book You Wouldn't Want to Be a Victorian School Child. Okay, and it says here, now with 25% extra misery, gloom and despair. Oh dear. So what we're going to do this morning, if that's okay, is I'm going to read a page and then you are going to read a page, either silently or aloud to somebody to practice your expression. If I move on to the next section before you have finished, then don't panic, just press the pause button and continue reading at your own pace, and press play when you are ready to listen to the next section. Okay, so let's find out about a Victorian school day. Okay, so I'm going to start on this page here, which is what happens even before the school bell has been rung. It says, ready for school, you need to sleep well the night before school starts so you don't come to lessons tired. Yawning in class will land you in trouble. Wash properly before you come to school. Scruffy urchins will be sent home. Eat a good breakfast. An empty stomach is as bad as an empty head at school. Don't be late. School starts at 9 o'clock sharp. If you are late, you'll be sent to see the head teacher for a telling off. Oh dear. Now it's your turn, boys and girls. Can you read this section for me? Okay, so fancy that. 1,500 pupils in this school, and you actually needed to pay to be able to attend as well. Okay, here's a picture of the school with a separate girls and boys entrance. Okay, and it says here, handy hint, know where school is as you might have to have miles to walk. If you get lost, ask a policeman. Okay, let's find out what happens when school begins. It says here, school begins at 9 o'clock. Here's a picture of all the gruesome teachers and head teachers and pupil teachers, because sometimes older pupils sometimes were there to help to teach younger pupils. Okay, I'm going to read this section now. Once you are through the school gates, you will be in school for the rest of the day. If you get there early, you will have some time to meet your friends and enemies in the playground. As 9 o'clock approaches, you are called into the school building by a teacher ringing a handbell. Get a move on, don't dawdle. The first thing you must do is go to the school hall for assembly. There are separate assemblies for boys and for girls. Stand still, stand in line, and most of all, be quiet. Face the front and pay attention as the head teacher leads the assembly. You will say the Lord's Prayer and sing some hymns. If there are any announcements to be made, this is when the head teacher will make them. Okay, so here's a picture here of assembly, and it says, handy hint, there are no smelly toilets inside the school building. They are outside in the fresh air. It is a good idea to go before lessons begin. Now I want you to read the sections here about the neatness, illness and cleanliness. Off you go. Okay, so remember to press pause if you haven't quite finished that section. So it says here, now we're in the classroom. Here are some of the resources and the children here. Okay, sat in class at their tables. Okay, assembly finishes at 9:30 and you file back to your classroom. Boys to their room and girls to theirs. Go straight to your desk and sit down. Be quick and do not make a noise. When everyone is in place, your teacher will call out the register in alphabetical order. When you hear your name, answer in a loud, clear voice. Here, miss. If you mumble, or if she sees you fidgeting, messing with your inkwell or fiddling with your desk, she will shake the school signal, which is that there, to attract your attention. When the register has been called out, it will be time for the first lesson of the day to begin. Okay, so it says here, after the register has been called, the first lesson begins, reading. It is one of the lessons known as the 3 R's, reading, writing, and arithmetic. They are the most important parts of your education. Okay, and this is the type of thing you might have done in reading. You would need to learn by heart. You have to learn pages and pages of text off by heart, especially poems. Then you will be asked to recite them from memory. Know the alphabet. You should have learned the alphabet at infant school from A to Z. If you didn't, you will struggle with the reading lessons. Okay. Now we're moving on to the writing lesson. It says here you will need a copybook. This is what you write in. It might be especially printed for schools like this one, or it could be a plain exercise book. Make sure your pencil is sharp and your ruler straight. Okay, inkwell. You will need pen and ink. You write with a pen that has a hard steel nib which you dip into your inkwell. Ink is messy stuff. Try not to get it on your hands and your clothes. Okay, so here's some extra information here which I would like you to read. The handy hint at the top and the sit up straight section. Okay, now on to your arithmetic session. Teachers will tell you that arithmetic is the most important of the 3 R's, but you may not agree with them. They want you to be able to add and subtract, divide and multiply. Most of all, they want you to do sums in your head, which is why it is called mental arithmetic. You will also learn about fractions, percentages, decimals, and something called interest, which is very important if you want to make lots of money when you start work. And if you think this lot sounds difficult, just wait until the teacher starts filling your head with algebra and geometry. Okay, so here's an example of an abacus that would have been used. Okay, mental arithmetic, which we still do a little bit in school, don't we? Okay. Okay, oh dear, the dunce's cap. D is for dunce. If your brain can't cope with what is 9 times 12, it says here, can you find the answer on the page? I wonder if someone can see the answer on the page. So it says, you will be made to wear the dunce's cap until the lesson is over. Oh dear, I can't imagine anybody would like to have worn that, okay? This section here is talking about object lessons because a teacher perhaps would have brought something in and the children would just look at it and discuss it. Might be something linked with history or geography or science. Look, they brought in a spider there. Okay. Now this section, I would like you to read this section. Hooray, it is lunchtime. Okay, can you read this section for me? Sorry if you can't quite see that section there. Off you go. Okay, and here's some examples of some games that the children would play. Chase, marbles, hoop and stick, skipping, okay, and football. Okay then, back to school. Afternoon lessons start again at 2 o'clock. Go straight to your classroom and sit down at your desk. To make sure that everyone has come back to school, the teacher will call out the class register, just like at the start of the morning lessons. Afternoon lessons are often the same as the morning ones, more reading, writing and arithmetic. There are also practical lessons such as the drill lesson. It will improve your fitness through lots of running around, jumping up and down, climbing ropes and touching your toes. On your marks, get set, go. Okay, so it's just showing you some of the different lessons that you might have had in school. Okay, so the punishments, you've probably heard about these. So in the cane, okay, the cane in England and Wales, naughty children are whacked on their hands and their bottoms with a cane. Ouch, okay. And can you see here, it's got a handy hint. Protect your backside before a thrashing, then tighten your muscles, shut your eyes and grit your teeth. And like this boy is saying, please don't notice the book down my trousers, which he has done obviously to protect his bottom. Afternoon lessons finish at 5 o'clock. Monitors walk along the school corridors ringing handbells to announce the end of the school day. Wow, that is a long day. Can you now read from inside each classroom down to the word diary? Okay, so where are we finishing school at 5 o'clock? Okay. So, I'm going to stop at this point because this then goes on to schools being inspected. So I hope you have enjoyed finding out a little bit more detail about the day of a Victorian school child. Now, if you would like to know, have got time, can you please open video number 2 where I will further explain today's activity, as you are going to be writing a survival guide for a child about how to survive a day as a Victorian school child. We cannot wait to see your work. Bye, year 4.